Tonight, the FBI says its National Threat Operations Center has received more than 20,000 tips in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie's case since the start of February. Now, agents are now working around the clock, they tell us, answering calls to the 1-800-CALL-FBI tip line and reviewing submissions online. A reward now of up to $100,000 remains in place by the agency for information leading to Nancy's location or the arrest and conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance. But it is not just the FBI. The search has now gone international. News 4 Tucson's Monica Garcia has more on this tonight from Nancy's home in the foothills. Monica, what can you tell us tonight?
Hey there, Sean. So you just heard about all those tips. Imagine just how time-consuming that can be. And earlier this afternoon, there was a member from the nonprofit Buscadores Madres de Sonora, so mothers searching in Sonora. And so they know very well what it's like to have a family member that's disappeared, because they have formed this group after their son or daughter has disappeared in Mexico. This group collectively about 3,000 members in Mexico. So to give you an idea, they were out here earlier standing at the memorial offering their condolences. But the main thing they were telling us was some pretty interesting insight, as they do operate just south of the Arizona border, searching in areas many migrants and smugglers travel through, which is why they say they felt compelled to weigh in on the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. So on their social media pages, on their Facebook page, as well as their website, they've been sharing images of Nancy Guthrie over the last 24 hours. And again, they do have 3,000 members across Mexico. They say the search for missing loved ones often is dangerous in terms of Mexico, especially among these smuggling routes, these cartel territories. But they have seen success. They say they've helped resolve more than 5,000 cases, reconnecting families with their loved ones, whether found alive or identified after their death. And now they posted Guthrie's flyer across their social media, and they hope to raise awareness and expand awareness about her disappearance across the border. And that, as we've talked about, is a theory that Nancy Guthrie could be across the border. And take a listen to the member that we spoke to and what she had to say this afternoon.
I feel, I don't know, like instead of searching here, they should look for her everywhere with everyone. That's what I think, because that's what we do. We search. We don't stay in one place. We search the valleys, all town and hills. Actually look, because that's our job.
And so I did ask the founder whether she believed Nancy Guthrie was in Mexico or not, and she did say it is extremely hard to smuggle someone into Mexico, especially considering the U.S. cameras and surveillance. She said obviously someone would have to go to a great lengths to smuggle someone into Mexico, but she's not sure, obviously. All they can do is post her image and try to find her and offer what they can in her disappearance. Live in the foothills, I'm Monica Garcia. Sean, back to you.
All right, and thank you for that, Monica, as they continue to spread that net to try and track down some clues and find out what happened to Nancy Guthrie. And as we continue to report on Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, we want to bring you this timeline you see there from over the last week. So back on the morning of February 10th, if you recall, the FBI released video of a suspect from Nancy's doorbell camera. And then later that night, a Rio Rico man was detained and then released. One day after that, a black glove was found and sent to a lab for DNA testing in Florida. Unfortunately, no match was found when they entered it into the CODIS system of the FBI. Then on February 13th, 2 people were detained in Shadow Hills in Midtown, but later released. February 16th, the Guthrie family and their spouses were all cleared in the case. And that brings us to today. And folks, here in News 4 Tucson, we are still inviting you to sign a banner outside of our station to support Nancy Guthrie and her family during this challenging time. Nancy's daughter, as many of you know, Savannah, is a familiar face in the KVOA family, having worked here before becoming a co-host of the Today Show. And the number of signatures on the banner you see there growing by the hour. I was out there yesterday. You can barely fit any messages in there, but there is still some space. We're also seeing more yellow flowers out front, the colors signifying hope and remembrance and a longing for the safe return of someone who is missing. And you can find that banner, folks, right outside of our News 4 Tucson studios off Stone and Drockman at 209 West Elm. For continuing coverage on the desperate search for Nancy Guthrie, please stay with News 4 Tucson on air, online, and on all of our social media platforms for the very latest.